quick product design problem or case study given by Meta. Let's say, give me a product design to design a travel app under the ecosystem of Meta. If that's the case study that is given in a typical interview setting, how would you tackle that question? I would initially start by clarifying some of the questions before diving into any of the product design. These are very essential steps as you go forward. I would ask very unique and specific questions that are very relevant and at the same time able to help you progress through the case study. So let's say, for example, one of the clarifying questions you could ask is, how soon is Meta trying to launch this product? Example, 3 months, 6 months, or 2 years from now. Are there any resources or budget restrictions? Most likely, the interviewer could be giving the answer back to you as you're free to explore, but let's say the timeline is 2 years and the budget is not set. That means you are able to strategize and reason what timeline you're going to design this product for and what makes absolute best sense with respect to product management and from analytical skill set you have. One other clarifying question you could ask is this a whole platform by itself that you're trying to add to the Meta ecosystem or family, or is this an addition to the existing products such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, etc.? So if you get a response saying it could be anything of the two above options, you're free to explore. Most likely that is going to be the answer from the interviewer. Then you are designing and strategizing an addition to the ecosystem of Meta, which does make perfect sense, because why would you just build a separate app altogether when there are highly utilized social media platforms out there, which could just be a tag on or an additional layer on top of these platforms, which, for example, Facebook has 3 billion plus monthly active users, WhatsApp has around 1 billion plus, and Instagram has about 2 billion plus monthly active users. So with respect to such high global impact and reach, it makes perfect sense to have an add-on. So I would tackle this in 5 to 6 simple steps, depending on how much time you have. I would quickly browse through the roadmap and give a gist of what you want to cover to the interviewer. Let's say the 5 steps are the company's mission to start with, the mission and bigger and broader objective of Meta. Step 2, the mission of the product. In this case, it also makes sense to quickly tag a single word for the product. I would say something in the lines of Travel Meta, because you are designing a journey app for the Meta ecosystem. Step 3 will be the key business goals. You want to carve the right goals for this product. Since this is a new add-on, I would focus on adoption and engagement. Retention will be very great to have, and I think Meta also has a very key focus for retention. However, given the scope, and this is a brand new addition to the Meta ecosystem, I would say it is a high priority, but not at the moment, possibly for future. Step number 4, I would talk about the success metrics, which is one layer below the key business goals. You're basically identifying the metrics to measure the adoption rate and engagement rate. Let's say for adoption, you are defining a metric, average signups per day for the product Travel Meta. This is probably normalized for a week's time, because you shouldn't be biasing your measurement with daily fluctuations, rather have a more normalized metric after collecting 1 week's worth of data. So for adoption rate, you have average signups per day. For the depth of engagement, let's say it's a deeper engagement metric you want to design on top of the key success metric, which is average signups per day. This can be average number of requests per user per day. What you're trying to achieve there is you're trying to build a sense of how deep the engagement is. It could give you positive signals or negative signals of maybe there's not a lot of features that are needed for this travel app. And the breadth of engagement, which can be defined as average number of features used per user in the Travel Meta app. And step 5, you can talk about identifying the key market segments. And step 6 is quickly understanding the pain points against each of these market segments and brainstorm the solutions to alleviate them. I would also carve out some time for the MVP towards the end, which will be very helpful to understand your thinking and how you are able to do the go-to-market strategy. Okay, let's kick it off. If the 5 to 6 steps of product market fit framework and the case study makes sense, I would go ahead and start elaborating every single step, starting with the mission of Meta. The mission of Meta, a bigger and broader objective, is bring people closer together and give them the power to build a strong community. As I think about it, this travel app is going to be very effective. In fact, I personally feel the biggest entertainment or the moments I look forward to in my year is the time I spend with my family and my friends during my travel. And it does have make me look back and think about those beautiful memories I had with them and that adventure I've experienced with my friends. Having said that, it does make perfect sense for Meta to pursue this product, as it brings the community closer and helps you build a strong bond with your friends and family. So it does align perfectly well with the mission of Meta. I would keep it simple, but always communicate the thought process why it is important for Meta to pursue this product. And now you want to quickly define the mission of the product. In this case, Travel Meta can be a one-stop shop solution to create perfect moments for friends and families with travel as an adventure. After that, you can move on to step 3, which is the key business goals. In this case, as Travel Meta is a new addition to the Meta ecosystem, adoption will be of high priority, followed by engagement, which is a medium priority. And even though retention is going to be very high priority in the future, we will table that metric or business goal for now because we want to focus on adoption and engagement. Let's move on to step number 4, which are the success metrics, deeper understanding of the business goals and the way to measure the success of this product going forward. The step 5, identify the key market segments. As I think about it, the travel can be very specific to families and very unique when they're traveling with children or pets. They have higher appetite for budget in terms of ROI, and it could be very different, a little more budget constrained and not a big huge appetite for additional facilities or requirements during the travel when you're traveling with friends. And also the key attractions could be different. You might want to stay in the city or downtown if you're traveling with friends for occasions like a bachelor's party or a wedding, versus a travel with family, which might look at an Airbnb in the outskirts and more in the nature, and more facilities like an attached kitchen to cook for your children and have a provision to travel with pets, etc. Solo travelers could be the third market segment, which could be a minimal budget and also a lot of time, additional time you want to spend in order to have the perfect or great moments during your travel. And also the location and the adventure type of adventure you're looking for could be very, very different across the travel with family, travel with friends, and solo travelers. So after defining the key market segments, I would quickly jump to identifying the pain points and brainstorm some solutions to alleviate them. Some of them can be a virtual guide to start with, like connect a real-time pro traveler who is well versed with what to expect and what to avoid during the travel to that particular destination. This could be especially important for families traveling with pets or children. Some things you cannot take a chance. And of course, I've had some personal experience when I'm traveling with family. I do want to make sure my mother has a wheelchair when she needs to, because she cannot walk for long distances. And food and water are quite important when I'm traveling with my parents or my children or my pets. So this is kind of a high priority or intense pain point, which do not have a one-stop shop solution today. And I think Meta can really bring this to the community and make it a better travel partner than any of the existing players out there. I do want to quickly pivot to the value chain. The value chain, as I think about it, the pre-planning, during the travel, and post-planning. Post-planning moments are all already very well intact in the ecosystem of Meta. Like you can post great memories on Meta products such as Facebook or Instagram or even WhatsApp as statuses, reels, and stories. And there's a lot of helpful filters that you can use to carve out your images and make your videos as perfect memories and share with your friends and families. So that is already taken care of. During the travel would be the main aspect which Meta can really revolutionize, because there is not a single app out there who can readily provide some feedback or connect a virtual guide who can navigate the families or friends through their journey, such as some destinations like a national park is closed post 2 p.m. or specific requirements such as if your kid is allergic to gluten or needs special care such as water at all times, you might want to be more informed well in advance to your travel, and that can happen with the virtual travel guide. So yeah, I do think the travel guide will be a high priority, intense pain point that you can solve given the value chain. And I think Meta can really narrow down their value chain to during the travel and some of the pre-planning as the key aspects that in the value chain of journey. So going to the second pain point, MapQuest, a medium priority MapQuest as a solution to solve for some of the pain points, like a lot of the travelers do not have a good understanding of where you can get the key essentials like food, water, hospitals, and emergency contact information. And you might need to fuel up your car because some of the destinations may not have the fuel, and there could be some remote situations where you need to be aware of well ahead of time. So MapQuest, which is like a complete understanding of all the facilities you need to know about and all the requirements such as food, water, you need to plan well in advance, could be given through this MapQuest as a good diagram or digital map that the app Travel Meta can provide to every traveler out there. And if they have any questions, they can connect instantly with somebody who's been a pro traveler and have signed up to help these active travelers on Facebook and Instagram. Since the community is so big, I'm pretty sure this can be achieved with minimal or very less effort. So I want to highlight this as a medium priority. Going to the third big pain point, which could be a delighting factor or sets Meta apart from any other player out there, is the safety and security. Even though this is a cold start problem and could have a lot of pitfalls and roadblocks, because it's not easy to straighten out the safety and security situation and connect a local travel guide or safety team who are just a call or text away that are instantly available to provide help when needed. These can also be the experts that can appear on site quickly to escalate any situation that arises during the families or friends travel. Additional contingent service for future can be considered who can also travel the map and location in case you are lost or in some kind of danger. So just want to summarize those key pain points. Pain point number one is, what are the special requirements you need to know about well ahead of time, or situations to avoid? This can be solved using a virtual guide, and the service can be extended if you want a guide to be with you at all times. I do know that is a scenario which you can leverage in some of the holy destinations in India at the moment for a very nominal fee. And Meta can provide a platform to connect with these local guides, I think, but a more scalable solution will be a virtual guide, which can be scaled and leveraged by many travelers at the same time. So you're not worried about a demand problem in that scenario. Maybe in the future, you could also tackle AI-based solution in this regard. The second high priority pain point is, I can think of the navigation problems. Where is what? And this is certainly available when you're at national parks, which is one of the major attractions in the USA, but it is the most current information. Let's say, for example, Waze, which is an app acquired by Google Maps, provided live traffic information, live police information, or any obstructions in the road, anything to avoid. That kind of on-the-spot, instant live updates will be very helpful. That can be pushed into the app and let folks know what is happening, rather than showing up at, let's say, I've had a very funny experience where I took my little niece to Disney, and I only realize the tickets are all sold out for the day and even for the next day. And I also realized that tickets are twice as much if you try and buy at the counter or kiosk versus having to buy 1 week in advance. So these are some of the precautions that one can provide from the Travel Meta, and this solution can be labeled as MapQuest. And we already talked about safety and security, which would be a delightful factor that can be provided by Meta uniquely to set apart from rest of the players in the market. Like a rescue team or safety team that can arrive at the site with just a text or call away, which makes the travelers feel more secure and be binded to the app, Travel Meta, and feel and provide that sense of safety and security within the for all the users of Travel Meta. If that made sense, I think it will be a great way to wind up talking briefly about an MVP or go-to-market strategy to take this into market, maybe for USA as a first marketplace, and then expand to global scale, depending on what you learn and what are the positive and negative signals you can understand from designing Travel Meta as an app. That's all for now, and we can catch up soon with more information. Thank you.